You want to do it?
Do what?
Welcome back.
This is going to be in the video.
Welcome back to Many Many Games Plays.
Plucky Squire?
There.
Is that what I'm going to say?
We rehearsed that so many times.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
This is definitely right after the last recording session.
Don't date the video.
I didn't say what it was.
It's March 9th.
Yeah.
We have to climb this tower. Oh, there's a little dude.
Well, you have to climb the tower. It's your favorite guy. My talking
You're
mini
only
beard.
wanting 2 orbs to open that big old gate.
Yeah, you think so? Is that what you think, old man? I'm talking to him. You're the young guy.
If only.
Yeah, we're trying out a new camera, right?
You could call it that.
Yeah, you could call it something like that. Hopefully it looks
I
better.
didn't know where to look. Look into the camera. Where is it again?
Hopefully it looks a little bit better. We're messing around. We're trying to make the setup look a little bit nicer every time. We've only done that once every however many dozens of times.
We keep saying we're gonna do something.
We occasionally.
We apologize deeply for the quality. It was not good. Hopefully it is better now.
My soul is at peace with it. As long as it gets better.
My soul.
I feel peace. But yeah, Plucky Squire, this game's cool.
Oh no.
Well, that's the game.
Oh, there might be a secret over there.
Oh, I like the idea. Yeah, nice down air.
Do you remember?
Tropic Thunder?
No.
Now you just want to
Please
don't. Now Tropic Thunder. Anything but this. What were you saying? Nice cup.
The glitch birds.
Whoa. Yeah, the glitch birds. It's Uta. What?
One Piece.
It's got to be different, right? Do they mean it to be like a Japanese reference? Or is it... It's probably a word in another language, right? I don't know. If it sings, then we'll know.
I'll take that.
Ooh, nice. These are the really cool things about this game, right? When it messes with the perspective.
Little Milky. Latch.
What? Don't ever doubt me, son.
What?
I'm high in calcium.
I like that particular what of yours. What?
It's the first compliment I've ever gotten.
What am I doing with this? Why do I have this?
Nice Kintama, bro.
Thanks.
Translation editor note.
Just put it over here.
For Metal Zone, right? Well, you
You
need
can't
to go.
say Kintama. It's
Oh, oopsie. There I go.
we talked before about
one of them goes there, right?
Oh yeah,
That seems right.
There you go.
Talk about before.
like the concept of like there are no swear words in Japanese, right?
It's weird, right? The things that you get that you would try to... I feel like the things that they would try to censor out are things that are like visually graphic. Like the description of something is like too much, or the things that you get like in trouble for over here is like bad mouthing anybody, right? Because like
Yeah.
instead of saying particular bad words, it's the fact that you said something bad about a person or a
Oh, you think
party.
so?
I think so. I think
I
like,
always thought I grew up with the idea that there were like 6, quote unquote bad words that you weren't allowed to say, and those are
Yeah.
the ones that got censored on television, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But
they don't have the concept. Like they'll say like kitanai. Say like
yeah,
the
like
words are kitanai.
Yeah,
Or the
you're-
language is kitanai.
you got dirty mouth. Boy.
Yeah. But like the conceptually, they're not like these taboo things that like
Right.
they are in English. I feel
Right. Like I feel like so much of
Like you just kind of sound like a Yakuza member or something.
true.
Can I say that?
Yeah, why not? I think so much of the concept of swear words is like rooted in like kind of like maybe like Christianity's effect on Western society or something like that, where it's like words like damn and stuff, right? They were like often associated with. Ooh, how do you? Whoa! Oh, the pieces are not in the places of the puzzle. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, there's not like true swears here. There's stuff that people say like you shouldn't say, but it's not like.
Oops.
It's not that it's not a big deal at all, but I think it's fine usually. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Nice. You got a Dragon Ball. That's the one mosquito Dragon Ball.
What about the other one?
2
Just
mosquito.
picked up.
Well, the first one was a 0 mosquito Dragon Ball. I guess you got to find your way back to that if you remember.
Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Which one? The first
The
one?
first one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I watched it in a theater inside.
Some people just don't watch movies, right?
I don't
You ever
watch
met-
movies.
You've seen Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like that kind of level.
I don't know. I get made fun of a lot for a lot in college for having watched quote unquote no movies. But then in my head, I'm like, well, I've definitely watched at least, I don't know, 1,000 movies.
It seems like a lot to me.
But I think the problem is a lot of the movies that I watched were not the movies that my peers watched necessarily, right? I think the movie that I've single-handedly watched the most number of times,
Sure.
it's either Rush Hour 3,
Okay.
because me and my family watched Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3 on repeat for 2 years of my life. You get a Papa Murphy's pizza. You eat half.
Have I seen Rush Hour 3? Which is the one with like the femme fatale is the bad guy?
2, I think.
That's 2, right?
Remember when they kick him out of the window and they're like, he's not going to be in Rush Hour 3? And then he wasn't.
I don't think I've seen Rush Hour 3.
I like it.
I remember that. That was in 2, right?
Rush Hour, yeah. Rush Hour
think I've
1
seen 3.
is awesome.
And I haven't seen any of those movies in like such a long time.
The last time I watched it was for my 25th birthday. I brought some buddies to Hawaii, and we stayed inside a hotel together. And we were like, "What do you want? What do you want to do for your birthday?" I was like, "I want to buy takeout Korean food, like just a ton of it, and watch Rush Hour 1 in this hotel room with you guys." And they're like, "Yeah, it was awesome." We got into, I mean, I don't know. We had a good time. It was a lot of boys driving around the island inside a car, and then
The island.
The island.
Is that what you call it?
No.
Is that like insider
It's
lingo?
Oahu. I mean, I'm a tourist. What do I know?
I don't think that's true.
I'm considered a tourist to everyone who properly grew up there, if that makes sense. Like, I lived there when I was quite young, and then I was back every year to visit and stuff like that. But I was usually living out of this hotel called Halekoa.
Yeah.
Halekoa roughly translates to like House of Warriors, because Hale is house and Koa can be warrior, I guess. But also when I got my quota, like you can go to like these like gift stores in the mall and stuff. They're like, your Hawaiian name, your English name, whatever. Mark was always Koa. So I always got very attached to the idea of my name being Koa when I was like in elementary, middle school, and like online games.
Okay.
I would put like Koa, and then
Does Koa just mean warrior, or does it mean house?
I think no, it means warrior. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. House is Hale.
Hale.
Yeah. So the Halekoa is the military hotel. So the idea is that it's the hotel for all the.
That's very on the
warriors.
nose,
right? But I love that. I love that part of Hawaii, the naming senses and stuff like that. My cousin did like naming for stuff in for like a resort inside Hawaii, and I don't know if he used a similar line of logic, but you know, you do what you got to do. I think
It's got to be weird though, right? Because you've basically grew up in Hawaii your whole life, but
yeah,
to a lot of people, you still probably seem like an outsider because
Absolutely.
you didn't live there 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it also doesn't help that after I moved to the Midwest, I adopted a very like radio English type of voice. While
Radio
like,
English.
you
You
know
do
what I'm
have a
talking
radio.
Oops. It's just like I mean, I think every state in the middle of America, like going down, likes to say that they have a neutral accent.
Yeah.
Like South Dakota says it. I think like Iowa and like all those areas will say that exact same thing. But then when you hear people make fun of like Minnesota on SNL, they're like, "Oh, what'd you do about it?" Like that, you know, they really lead into it.
Yeah.
Kind
But
of
most
thing.
people aren't like that, is what you're saying?
Not really. I mean, at least in my area, even like I have family
Oh,
members
no!
that are more on the countryside. I haven't ever really noticed like they have a bit of it. They kind of have like cowboy English. If that makes sense. There's a drawl might be too strong of a word, but there is something there. It's like a little bit different, but it's totally, at least for me, it's very parsable. But I found that when I talked like I did when I grew up in Hawaii, when I moved to the school in my elementary school in the Midwest,
You're joking.
that's awesome. QA testers, what the hell? I thought this game was tested.
Is there an unstuck button?
That's awesome. That's like the most like.
Because I tried to jump on that thimble and there was like an invisible wall that pushed me off.
I think you just had to quit it.
Now I'm right here.
Quit it and come back in.
3.
That has 3 minutes. We can do 3 extra
All
minutes. My eyes. So yeah, our current lighting setup, we definitely get a little blizzardy blasted.
So the pink bleeds in.
Yeah, but I think it's cool. We'll eventually get
Something.
Call it a key light, right?
Yeah, that's
Key
what they
light,
say.
front light,
Yeah.
key light, front light.
Behind the scenes.
Whoa.
It's in the, I think I'll use my credit card. You know,
I love that one.
if you know, you know.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one. But yeah,
I somehow miraculous. No, go.
Oh no, go for it.
No.
Okay. I was just gonna say that.
It's all you.
I
can pick it up.
The voice that I used when I lived in Hawaii made it so people often didn't seem to understand me when I came to like the Midwest. So I just started talking like what I heard, and then yeah, you get radio English. Thank you tuning in to radio English, something like that. But I always thought it was funny. I think the thing that I got complimented about the most in my life, like growing up, especially in like high school and stuff like that, was having like clear oration, kind of like orating when I'd like read something out loud.
Pretty
or
well
whatever.
spoken.
I guess I don't know. I think I got mush mouth out the wazoo. What are you saying? There's a big friendly dino on the left. Are you enjoying? Do you think this game is more visually appealing than it is mechanically
Get stuck
appealing?
again.
And you love doing that.
I was gonna say that.
He's like doing 3-hit combos off the wall, off the stage every
I'm
second.
so sorry.
It's
Then
funny.
I miraculously escaped the deep rural South without like a trace of a Southern accent.
Do you?
So I would meet people and they'd be like, "You're from like Europe, right?"
Ooh, yeah. Like it's hard to trace it if you don't have like a.
Because my parents didn't really have any sort of accent, which is
Okay.
also strange because my dad also grew up in the same area.
I just feel like.
Everyone at like my middle school was like
Oh really?
crazy.
It's like pretty strong.
Yeah.
Do you like the sound of it?
No,
Do you hate the sound of it? Or are you like?
I
Kinda
definitely
neutral?
disliked it pretty strongly at the time.
Would you say everyone who sounds like that doesn't deserve
salvation?
a bit of a grandiose statement? No, but yeah, it's interesting, right? Is there ever been an accent that you wanted to emulate?
I think British accents are pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you said licking his tail. You're a friendly chap, ain't you? No, whenever I'd go...
My tail.
My tail! Whenever I'd go back to Hawaii, I always really wanted to sound like I was from there, so I would try to mimic the way that my family talks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can do it perfectly by any means, but I could, like, get away with it.
But you do something like that. You're talking about like pigeon or something like that.
Yeah.
People
But, like, in
speak
general, I think I do that. Because when I talk to our friends from... I think it was what you're
Malaysia
talking
and
about.
stuff
Yeah,
like Southeast Asia,
Asia.
you definitely do like adjust, which is interesting to me because
I think that's just how I've always functioned. Like, because my mom is deaf, so I didn't learn how to speak properly from her.
sure.
If I spoke like her, I think I would have been viciously bullied. So maybe it's a survival instinct. But like I like the way my mom talks or whatever. It's just she has issues with. They didn't figure out that there's a light bulb down there if you want it. I mean, if you want it. Nice light bulb. Just like she wasn't diagnosed or like recognized to be deaf until she was like I think 5 years old, which is like pretty deep into your
Developmental.
yeah your neural systems being developed, developmental period. So she just has a lot of that's awesome. You're just gonna try to attack off of every surface to see if you can break it.
This looks like you might be able to.
It's like every ledge bro gets to. It's like, let me triple attack the air.
This is awesome.
This is great. He closed his eyes. He fell asleep for one. Take a micro nap on your way down to the ground. Your eyes look heavy there, friend. Take a little micro nap. What do you think Moonbeard has to say to you? Yeah. Prehistoric beasties. Do you like the Beastie Boys?
Wait, no, go back to what you're talking about. Don't derail.
Are we talking about the developmental thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just that because she had that issue, a lot of things are like very difficult for her, like arithmetic.
You like the Beastie Boys.
I like the Beastie Boys. Well, I like 4 of their songs that I know, thanks to the first Star Trek reboot, the Zega one, that one Futurama episode, and then Guitar Hero, Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Sabotage.
All those just use the same song.
No, they use different ones.
I remember my first exposure to the Beastie Boys was like VH1 or something.
Oh,
like for a period
cool.
of time, they would do like, here are the top 20 songs of this week or whatever. Every single week. and Beastie Boys was on there, and I was like, I hate this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you still not like them, or do
No,
you?
no, I'm.
You're gonna go
more
in there and
into
fight
now.
those prehistoric beasties, or
Yeah, I guess so.
you just questing? He's questing.
This guy.
Let me jumping attack.
I want to see if I can take a micro nap on the way.
So, what like percentage of people in Hawaii would you say actually speak like pidgin or whatever?
Out of like people that like grew up there,
Yeah, I guess.
because
So.
like Hawaii is weird, right? Because so many people like I'm not at all native Hawaiian. I'm like Filipino and then white men. So my Filipino side of the family definitely speaks pidgin. But one thing that they say a lot, I don't think he's the guy you're killing.
This is the last barbarian.
One thing they say a lot is like, in order to like get a job / like if you're gonna get off the island at some point, you really need to learn how to speak like not pidgin, right? Which for me was very easy because
So people who speak pidgin can't not speak pidgin is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if you speak pidgin, you also need to learn how to not speak it.
Is pidgin also separate from just like the dialect or like
So pidgin
the words, the lingo that Hawaiian people will use sometimes that I hear?
No, it is that.
It is that.
Pidgin is the linguistic term. I hope I'm saying that right. Linguistic term for any place that has, what is it, 2 or more languages that mix together, and an accent spawns from that. So like, if you were from Panama and you speak whatever sort of sound that like Panaman English would sound like, or Singaporean English, Malaysian English, those are all types of pidgin.
Oh.
It's just Hawaii is famous for calling it pidgin.
Okay.
They just call it pidgin. They don't call it like Hawaiian English. Like, you know how you ever call Singaporean English like Singlish? Yeah.
That's
Hawaii
also technically pidgin though? is what you're saying?
Yeah. That's a type of
Ah.
pidgin. Just in Hawaii, they just call it
I
pidgin.
thought pigeon was a bird.
But they spell it P-I-D. Man, I keep doing gestures with my left hand. They spell it P-I-D-G-I-N. You can find a ton of stuff on Google. There's like these fun little like pigeon thesaurus glossary things or whatever. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, I speak pidgin when I talk to my mom because it's way easier for her to understand me. Maybe way easier is the wrong thing, but like I tend to have a much like more like simplified down vocabulary when I speak inside pidgin, which is good for my mom. And when I speak like I'm in the Midwest, I try to mix it up. You know, I get some highs, some lows in there. I try to get with the cross up, cross under, maybe a little cross. You know,
Who's this guy?
I'm trying to throw some words in there. I think this is our first time meeting him.
Time Tim.
Time Tim. It's
That's
time for Tim to
potentially
leave.
Braid reference.
Oh, really? That's cool. Were you a big braid guy?
Yeah.
Tim Rogers tried to be a big braid guy.
Sick.
Oh, he was deciding which side of the fence he fell on.
Oh,
He
I
fell-
wasn't.
He's gonna fall on one side. Is Braid your favorite 360 era indie game?
Probably. It was also the only 360 era indie game.
Oh shit. What about
No,
Bastion?
Bastion. Okay, no, Bastion might be my favorite.
What
Those two are up
about,
there.
Mr.
Games that
Explosion?
starts with B. Games that starts with B. Games which start with B. I don't think you can get much better than those two.
Battlefield.
No.
No, Mr. Explosion.
That doesn't start
Miss
with B.
Explosion.
You know what a B is?
I'm working on it. Mr. Time. Put that X down there, friend. Come with me. Into time. You get another stop stamp? Or is this a time stamp?
The bomb stamp.
Oh, they said you need to find a way to blow up those tanks.
Yeah.
In that episode, that definitely happened.
Yep.
last week. Hey, it's the worm. I'm trying to think. There was quite a few. That was kind of back whenever an indie game did come out, it was a big deal. Remember Brothers? Brothers that starts with B. That was a big indie game at the time.
A
part of
360?
yeah, Xbox Live Summer Arcade Festival.
Is that a co-op one?
It's the one where you control one of each brother with one
Yeah.
stick.
Man, that was that long ago?
Yeah, bro. Well, like, remember they tried to push it for
Damn.
summer
Yeah, I never played it.
for Xbox Live. I didn't either. But honestly, I wasn't super big on indie games at the time.
Very new. Like Braid was like the big darling that was like, wow, people can make indie games. And
Isn't the one that a lot of people would attribute with being like kind of the early darling is Cave Story?
I want to say Cave Story was after Braid.
Oh, really?
But maybe it was just because Braid was on a console and not,
Sure. Cave Story was like a I have a Steam account kind of check.
I guess.
How early did you get into PC gaming? Because you played RTSs pretty early on, right?
2000 and.
You got the year? Holy.
Unless you count like World of Warcraft.
What was the first PC game that you got into? That you played? Or like remember liking? Like not just like I played Minesweeper. Or I went on Addicting Games or something and played
Okay,
tanks.
so in that case it actually goes back further because my dad did buy some PC games.
Okay.
Old school, like I played Wolfenstein when it came out.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick.
Descent, I think we've talked about before. That's a really sick sci-fi shooter from way back in the day.
That's cool.
Where you like control a ship, but it's in like full 3D, so you can move in any direction.
You played Majesty?
Is that an adventure game?
It's an RTS where you can't control the units.
Oh.
So what you do is you make a castle town, you make the city, and you make units. You're like, I'm gonna make monks, I'm gonna make knights, I'm gonna make whatever. But they move of their own quote unquote free will. And the way that you get them to do things is you put bounties on things.
These poor guys.
Dude, this is like those scenes from Saving Private Ryan where they like throw the grenade.
Is there anything more
oh
terrifying than being in a tank and then knowing it's about to explode?
I tried watching Saving Private Ryan like 5 years ago, and it made me feel sick. I think it's because I was now older than the characters. When the last time I had watched any of that stuff was like I was really into like military stuff when I was in elementary and middle school. When I watched it back then, I was just like, this is so cool, right?
Yeah.
Then when I watched it like more recently, all I thought of is like, if this is what I went through when I was 18, like I wouldn't have survived.
Different time.
2,
Tom Hanks.
it would have destroyed me developmentally for the rest of my life.
Matt
So,
Damon's in that movie.
Is that crazy?
Saving Private Ryan I didn't watch until much later because it looked very
It's very intense,
gory.
right? Yeah.
I was not a gore guy.
No, I'm not a gore guy either.
This is...
I think that seems like a thing you have to interact with a tool when you're out of the thing. I don't know if it's like a thing you can do now, though. Do we have a thing that...
Dang.
Oh, you can bomb it, right?
But I can't get back out.
You could figure it out later. Hopefully. For now, I guess we progress and then see if it gives you an out later.
Sure, he says.
Let me just chop it up.
I'm not leaving.
Never.
But yeah, I also was really into like a bunch of RTSs. I had a friend who got me into RTSs in high school. So like,
Did you play Impossible
2000
Creatures?
Yes.
Oh,
2000 like
that's
6-ish, 5-ish. Warcraft 3, StarCraft, and then Disciples 2.
so I liked playing a lot of Warcraft 3, but I'm pretty lame. I just played custom games.
Some games, yeah, they were the shit.
I didn't really learn to play the game properly. And
That's fine.
I played Impossible Creatures. Like I played Majesty, but Majesty you didn't have to control your units. I thought it was really cool though. You put bounties on like a dragon or like a bandit guild nearby, and people would fight them if the bounty was high enough. And like knights and stuff were more likely to do it at lower costs. But if you want like rogues and stuff to do things, you have to up the bounty for them to get in on it, kind of thing. Yeah, you can
it's not worth
blow
it.
it up. Blow it up. Blow it all up. Kaboom. Nice. Scroll. Go back and get it. But when I played Impossible Creatures, I didn't understand the concept. And I remember Impossible Creatures, do you ever feel bad for like an NPC inside a video game because you like see the humanity in them or whatever, right?
So get rid of the leaves, right?
Oh, nice. Good job. There's a lot of leaves you can get rid of. All these dark green. It's a lot of dark greenery for you. Just burn down the forest, why don't you? Oh, nice. You get the key, go over there. Nice. You got it, man. Now get back in there.
Get back in there.
No, I played Impossible Creatures. I didn't understand how to control the workers. I didn't understand what you're supposed to do. So I was just there, and it was like a one-on-one versus CPU kind of thing. They sent units over, they started killing my workers, and my engineers were like, "Engineer under attack! Engineer under attack!" And I was like, "I'm sorry!" Like, I feel like I'm the only one that could save you, and I don't know how to save you.
No idea.
But they just kept saying, "Engineer under attack!" And like, it bummed me out really bad, so I quit the game.
If you've never played an RTS before, like probably like watching someone play one
Uh-huh.
is one of the strangest experiences because the voices
Absolutely.
never stop.
Absolutely.
It's constantly like when you're telling people to go places.
The first time I watched one, I was at my like dad's friend's house inside our neighborhood inside the Midwest, and there was a few guys that were like at least 5 years older than me, if not 10 years older than me. We're all inside one of their dudes' like guest bedroom or whatever, and they had What was StarCraft was on N64, was it?
It was, yeah,
Yeah,
weirdly.
they were playing the N64 version of StarCraft, and I remember watching them play 2-player and trying to digest what was going on the screen. And it was the first video game I ever saw that I couldn't understand.
No clue.
Like I had been playing, like I had Super Mario Bros. On the SNES, I had Pokemon, I had quite a few like random games. I had the what was the Looney Tunes, like the Looney Tunes Kids or something like that. I had a GBA game or a Game Boy Color game for that. But like, it was always so easy to digest what was going on. Be like, okay, that's what this video game is about. Watching StarCraft for the first time, I was like, what is happening? And the dudes are just like they had clearly played it a lot of times with each other, so they're just small talking. They're not talking about what's happening in the game. Like, so we both play Cardfight Vanguard, right?
Right.
Do you know why I got into Vanguard in the first place?
Tell me.
So I went to, there's a card store that I loved inside Hawaii called The Planet. It used to be right next to the Ala Moana Shopping Center. You would walk out of the parking complex and across one busy street, and it was in this weird, unassuming building. When you went up to the second floor, all the walls are painted with big planets, like some sort of like astronomy teacher's setup. And you go up one more floor, you open the doors, and it's a LAN center, but it's also a tournament center for card games. It was the first time I'd been to like a proper card store. We had like street vendors for cards when Pokemon came out when I was a little kid. But like in the Midwest, I just went to like Toys R Us and stuff. We had a card store in my town, I just didn't know about it kind of thing. So my first time being one of those. And then me and my buddy were there, also from the Midwest. We took him to my hometown kind of thing and show him around. We were watching two guys play Cardfight Vanguard. I'd never seen it before. And they had clearly played the game with each other a lot. Because when you've played the decks against each other, you don't say the effects of your cards.
You just go.
Yeah, so they were... And I didn't know that... Because inside Magic and inside Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot of is this okay? Is this okay? Mm-hmm. You checking to see if you can do an action. Vanguard is just go, bro. Once attacks start happening, your opponent can interact, but until then, you just do stuff. So they're putting all these things down, tapping sideways, flipping cards to the top of their deck, passing, and just going back and forth. I thought it was the coolest esports thing I'd ever seen. This is these guys eat sports. They're eating the sport. They're going crazy. It was so sick, and I was like, "What game is this?" And ironically, one of the guys that was playing Angel Feather, which would go on to be my favorite thing ever inside card games, is playing Angel Feather, which doesn't exist in the current version of Vanguard, but maybe someday. It was also the first time I ever bought a box of product. I think that's a lot more normal now because people buy boxes of Pokemon and stuff. But when you're a kid, can you imagine buying a box of any TCG product? I just bought loose packs and tins and stuff out of Toys R Us. When was the first time you bought sealed product, a whole box, something that's
box?
Yeah, $60, $100.
Oh man,
that's crazy when you're 12. Right?
I would buy lots of loose packs of Pokemon and MTG
I was 14
when I was younger. Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean though. When was the first time you got a box?
The concept of that is insane. No, was insane at the time. No, later.
Okay,
might not have been until Vanguard actually.
Okay,
4 or 5.
Really?
3 years ago.
I just because for me it was also with Vanguard, but I started.
Oh no, we did it during. We did an MTG. We drafted out of boxes.
Oh, okay.
But we would me and my friends would pitch in to buy one box.
But buying one for yourself, it's crazy, man. There really is this big wall. I mean, it's the same thing with gacha games and stuff like that. That initial wall.
Launch me.
You would spend this much money on this thing, and then you kind of get accustomed to it, and that's how they get you. But yeah, whoa, nice upgrade. Whoa, nice art. Scroll. It's Violet.
Violet.
Her design is very fun. I like the little bits of paint on her hand. It's fun. Sword throw upgrade. You don't have enough to spin attack upgrade. Let me get some more cash.
Can I go there?
Woohoo!
Yeah, I can.
But yeah, the idea of buying a box of cards was so foreign to me. I remember opening that. I got the card on the cover. When I don't know if Magic's like this because I didn't play Magic till way later. But inside Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, you were always trying to get the card on the pack because the really old Yu-Gi-Oh packs were just Yugi going ha ha. He's constantly doing some pose. As Magic Ruler set, which used to be called. No, it's called Spell Ruler now. It used to be called Magic Ruler. Yu-Gi-Oh got sued by Wizards of the Coast for using the phrase magic. So
really?
They're all called spell cards now, but back in the first sets they were called magic cards.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
Talk about magic cards.
No, with the words.
Well, you know what? I think we should solve this puzzle.
Oh, you're right.
next time on Many Many Games.
Like and subscribe. Please.
Why don't you do that?
Thanks for hanging out.
See you later.
We'll figure out what a large metal battery does.
Do we look at the camera now?
Next
You
time?
want to wave? Bye.
Oh, wait, I looked over there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Bye bye. And then then it, like shuts in.
You're
can,
never
hear
gonna
the-
drop that bit.